Right. I'm going to give you all a few moments to come on in because um, I have got to get the message out to the text notification squad. So let us, how do we, all right, let's see. This is, it's a little clunky. Let me make sure that we're in the right area. All right, perfect. Okay, good. So let's continue going forward. I'm going to get the message out to the text notification squad, but I just need this to come up into my live feed on YouTube in order for me to grab the link. But welcome in, everybody. Welcome. This broadcast is not going to be that long. Let me know if you can let me know if you can hear my audio because the microphone is in front of me, but it's a little ways away. So I'm just waiting for this to get up on YouTube. As you see from the title of this video, today is my day 10 and I am leaving Hawaii. And I wanted to tell you all why I'm leaving and what's going on, etc., etc. So let me give you all a few moments to come in. All right. I hate when the processes don't work as they're supposed to, because the text notification should go out as soon as I go live, but it has not. So and I'm broadcasting from the iPhone, which is very clunky for some reason. The iPhone is not smooth. People brag about how the iPhone is the industry standard or Mac is the industry standard for broadcasting and video and stuff like that. But I'm letting you know from using Android and Apple, Apple cannot compare to Android. It just can't. It can't. All right. So welcome in everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm just giving you all a few minutes to get in here and then we're gonna start talking. Um I just I'm trying to get the is the issue right now is that the broadcast is not showing up in my YouTube, so I can't even Shim is saying you seem like an Android lover. You seem like a person that has low standards and you think that that Apple is sufficient. There are certain types of people in this world. There are people who are realistic, and then there are people who roll with the crowd. And anybody who claims that the iPhone is better than the Android is a person who is in groupthink because Apple has done a great job at convincing people that being a part of this, oh, I'm a part of Apple, oh, this is better. But when you look at it, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, camera for camera, all of that, it just does not compare. It doesn't compare. I wonder, I'm live on YouTube, right? So why is it that I don't see the video on YouTube? Let me go into a browser because I'm not sure what's going on, and things have just been kind of strange here in Hawaii anyway. I'm refreshing from a browser because I need to give me 1 second, y'all. All right, so you know what? It's here on here. Let me grab this. It's in the browser, but it's not on my YouTube Studio app. So let me grab the link from the browser. Give me 1 second, you all. Now, I'm not going to say that Apple sucks. I'm not going to go that far. I'm just saying, I mean, it's adequate. It's just not as good. Here, give me 1 second. I'm going to send out the message to the text notification squad. All right, here, plus. Okay, campaign name, YouTube. Okay, so we are going to send this to everybody that is on the video notification list. Let's see, video. Okay, from, I need to send it from my dedicated number. My dedicated number is, come on, let's get this done. All right. Okay, look, first name. Okay, where, that says where, doesn't say where. Where live on YouTube. You, oh God, just give me 1 second. If you need to go grab yourself a drink, go ahead and do that. Um, Here we go. Day 10 juice, juice, juice fast, leaving Hawaii. Let me put the link here, paste. All right, let me put in hashtag TKO Tech Squad, and then let me send it. Send now. All right, send. I just sent it. Listen, anybody, listen, it's not even, you can tell who the followers are versus the leaders, but this is not, I don't even want to get into an Android versus iPhone conversation. That's stupid. Nonetheless, so I'm waiting for the text to go out to the text notification squad. Give me just 1 second because I just sent it out manually, but it has not gone out yet. Let me go to history. All right, there we go. Just went out. All right, here we go. So we are live right now, and I apologize for it taking so long to get the text notification out. It just has not been very smooth in terms of electronics and broadcasting and stuff like that from from Hawaii. So listen, all right, welcome in everybody. Come on in, come on in. We're gonna get started right now. I just sent out the text, so I'm glad you all received it. I received mine as well. Look at my dead cat, or this could be a little dead mouse. It's supposed to keep the sound of the wind away. All right. So listen, let's continue forward. So today is my day 10 of the juice fast. It's starting to drizzle out here. Interesting. All right. So welcome everybody, welcome. I am heading to the airport in about 2 hours to catch a flight. I am on my way to a different retreat. I was originally supposed to be at this location for 21 days, for 3 weeks, but before I came, my spirit told me that I needed to do something different. And I found another retreat to go to before I go to Sedona. So I'm going to be doing another retreat in Sedona. I'm going to be doing a retreat in Florida, and at that retreat, we're really going to be concentrating on meditating daily, yoga daily, sunrise meditations, and I'm also going to be juice fasting, but it's going to be a little bit more spiritually based. And I think that when it comes to creating long term change, I think it's important to involve spirit, your guides, your higher reason for, because the ego can play so many tricks on you. The ego will be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with just live the way you're living, oh, continue forward. This pandemic has thrusted me into a state of lack of health that had really opened up my eyes to what getting older is like if you're not healthful, and how if you don't use it, you lose it. I've been having a lot of visions lately of a retreat that I'm going to be doing with you all. I'm going to have a bunch of us ladies come out into nature, and we're going to do some healing. We're going to do some habit changing. We're going to do a lot of different things. I'm having visions of it. In my vision, I see ladies laying down on the ground on yoga mats. and I'm doing a group hypnosis in the front of the room, and I'm walking around and I'm touching people on their third eye. And there's some women who are there who find a tremendous amount of healing, and there are other women who don't. Like there are a few women who come who are really kind of stuck in their ways, and these women attempt to get other women on their side, like, oh, this is not what you should be doing, etc. But this is I'm having these visions. I'm having visions of us with in a room, and we're dancing. There's like music, we're dancing, we're having a good time. I'm also having visions of us outdoors, and we're doing yoga, we're meditating, we're going on hikes. These are the visions that I've been having lately, right? So so I know that we will most likely be doing a retreat. Um, So I know that we will most likely be doing a retreat. I don't know when, and I don't know what it will entail. I'm just allowing spirit to guide me, right? So when the time is right, because you all know that there's two different things. Well, you know one thing that I'm doing. One of the things that I'm doing is I'm going to be going to a vegan culinary program, and I'm going to become certified in the preparation of vegan meals. And with this education, I'm going to create a cookbook, right? I'm also I'm also thinking about it just dawned on me that before, so when I go to culinary school, um, I know that I'm going to learn how to prepare and how to create recipes, and how to relay those recipes to the public, right? Um, However, I really want to learn about food and how food affects the body and what the body needs essentially, right? Okay, so somebody that needs to be blocked. How do I block this person before they can? It doesn't seem like I'm able to block from here. And this person is spamming. See what I'm saying? Trying from the iPhone, it's nearly impossible. Oh, God. I need to. It's not letting me block from the iPhone. Let me take the chat off the screen, because this person is not going to continue with their effery on my thing. So nonetheless, let me get into my studio over here. Let me enter into the studio. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just entering from my Android so that I can be able to block people when I need to, because the iPhone is fugazi. Just letting you all know. iPhone is fugazi. You know that. Deep, deep, deep in your hearts, you know that. You know that. But there's people who are in denial about it. So nonetheless, right? So I want to take a course that will help me understand nutrition and the human body. And let's see, enter studio. I want to take a course that will help me know. Here we go. So let me get the volume down on this. So I've been asking, I've been asking people about. Oh, my volume is up over here. I've been asking people about how do I, how do I say goodbye to what we have. All right, here we go. So there. All right. So I've been, I've been trying to figure out. So here we go. So I've been trying to figure out what type of course do I need to take. Do I need to take a course, a dietitian course, a nutrition course? I don't know why this thing is making noise. There, there we go. I'll just move that over there. Yeah, so I've been trying to figure out, do I take a nutrition course? Do I take a dietitian course? Some people had suggested some people have suggested a fitness coaching course. And so I'm just trying to figure that out right now because I want to be of best service to people. So that's what I'm working on right now, you know, making sure that whatever it is that we put out, whatever it is that I do, whatever it is that I do, that it's in the highest and greatest good of all of us involved, right? So that's pretty much the reason why I came out. So Skilly is saying that Skilly is a priestess. Listen, it takes all types for the world to go round. You know what I mean? It takes all types. Okay. So nonetheless, it looks like I'm trying to, for some reason, I can't stop the volume, and I don't know why. All right. Yeah, see, hello? Hello? It's coming from the broadcast, I believe, but nonetheless. So Island Girl is asking, how is the fast? Um, yeah, the fast is going great. Listen, I would appreciate it if you all stopped. Somebody is saying TKO invest in a luxury tour bus. A home that travels with you is wise in these times. Actually, a yacht can move out of war. How many people here know my primary residence? It's like people, they just start talking and start giving you advice and don't know nothing about what's going on in your life or nothing like that. You know what I mean? All right. So on my juice fast, I have not. Oh, it's still coming through. Let me close the browser. Not close the browser, but at least open something else up. Um, it's still coming through. It's weird. On my juice fast, I don't feel hungry. Well, it's like sometimes I don't feel like. I think what a lot of us are accustomed to thinking of as hunger is not necessarily hunger. I think that we live in a society with so much abundance in terms of food and so much excess that I don't really think a lot of us know what hunger is. So I don't necessarily feel hungry, but I do feel the desire for the chemical effects of food. Like I've been H.L. Watts is saying, are men welcome to participate in my retreat? No. Hi. No, absolutely not. It's going to be a safe space for women to be able to be in our womanness. And not even people who were born male and then consider themselves women. This is for people who have come into this life as keepers of the womb. That is who the retreat is for. And I respect people's different opinions about who it is that they are and what it is that they have and bring to the table and all of that. But only people who have been assigned and who have been assigned keepers of the womb can come to the seminar. And it's going to be a healing place for us to be able to discuss our unique issues. I actually even had a conversation with a Caucasian woman here, and I was telling her about how I've been feeling led to do a retreat. She's a patient as well, and I was telling her about the stats on what Black women go through in terms of murder and childbirth rate and all that. And she was like, um, well, if you ask me, because then she was saying, oh, she's gone through so much death and all this other stuff, blah blah blah. And I was like, and I had to be honest with her because it's like there's no room for not telling the truth, right? So I was like, I'm not talking about just regular murder. I'm talking about femicide. And I told her, I was like, every 6 hours a black woman is killed in this country. And I told her about the trafficking rates, how out of 3 million missing girls and women, that 40% of them are black, and nobody's looking for these black girls, and et cetera, et cetera. And I said to her, I said, part of the reason that I need to have this retreat for black women specifically is because of that response that you just had. And I'm like, because the way that you attempted to minimize, I'm like, we need to be in a safe space away from stuff just like that. Just like that. And it's like they don't seem to get it or understand, and that's why some do. Some do, however, this is going to be a safe space for us, right? This is going to be a safe space for us to be able to be in our Nubian womb holderness. Another Caucasian woman said to me here, another one, it's like, she said to me, she was like, "Oh, I was raised poor, this and the other, and I had to raise up out of my situation and become successful." And I was like, "Well, why are you telling me that?" And she was like, "Because it's very similar to your situation, and being black." And I'm like, being poor and white is not the same as being black. Come on, it's like people just don't get it, and I understand why they don't get it, right? And I understand why they don't get it. Nonetheless, Skilly. Okay, so listen, I'm going to open up the floor at this time for people to ask questions if need be. Um, let me see what time it is because there's things that I need to do to get ready for the airport. It is 11:24, so I'll stay on for about 15 more minutes. So Van Life is saying, "Girl, I envy you so much right now." There's no need to envy, honestly. Anything that you want in this life, you can get by creating the rules for what it is that you want and how you want it. You can get anything that you want in this life. You can get anything that you want. How was Hawaii? I'm glad you asked. I just think of the hypocrisy of it all. That the United States, that they have the nerve to open up their damn fat ass mouths about what's going on in Ukraine when currently I am sitting on stolen land where the natives of this land were wiped out. Wiped out. So much so that there are only about 5,000. I read up on it after our last broadcast. When the white man first came into contact with Hawaii, there were 400,000 native Hawaiians here. Within like 5 years, there were only like 10,000. They came, and I resent everything about Hawaii, and I resent everything about this place. That white people have used this as their playground in the United States, and they don't seem to give a flying F that you don't see any natives. They only care about being around some palm trees and warm weather. And from what it is that they have done by gentrifying this place, the people who originally were here can't even afford to live here. This is a terrible, terrible, not only that, read up on the history of Hawaii, right? Basically, I'm going to give you a short rundown of the history, right? Now, there's a person who is on the text notification squad who was at the gathering that I had before I left, who is asking a question that was answered at that gathering. who is coming onto this live broadcast to ask a question that was asked in the last video and also in the video before that one, asked and answered twice already. Unbelievable. So nonetheless, brief history of this land, right? White people came over, they saw the natives here. The natives were living their lives wonderfully and peacefully. White people came and brought ravages of diseases that chopped the population down from 400,000 to like 20,000. After that, then they came back with some warships and they went and took the land. The United States overthrew the government here, installed their own government, and the people of Hawaii have been peacefully trying to get themselves separated from the United States for hundreds of years. These barbarians don't understand the language of peace, right? They don't understand the language of peace. These barbarians, if you need to get through to these barbarians, you are going to have to create an army and have them hear you through force, because these people are unbelievable in their entitlement, unbelievable in their violence, they're wretched, they're wretched, encroaching. Basically, they don't think that people who are of color have any worth. They think that they've discovered a land if there are people of color there. How do you discover something that somebody else is already on? But you don't value them and you don't feel that they have any worth. So even if they've inhabited it, even if they have their own government, even if they have their own language and their own ways, that's one of the things that truly bothers me, right? That's one of the things that truly bothers me about this place is, and then also they once they installed their own government, they outlawed people speaking um, the Hawaiian language. So for 4 generations, so the Hawaiian language is almost completely extinct. For 4 generations, they were not able to speak their language. So it's like this is what these barbarians do. It's like rinse and repeat from land to land. Exactly. Somebody knows about dole. So those wonderful canned pineapples that you eat from dole, that man was he was sick and sadistic, and it's like the U.S. is so heavily entrenched in this country, right? Because Hawaii is a separate country. I don't care what the United States is claiming that Hawaii is the 51st state or whatever. Hawaii does not belong to the United States. And you can tell the ghost of the people and the ghost of the ancestors. And it's like these people just, they come for cheap land. It's like they want to be in the spaces with people of color. They want the benefits of being around the people of color, the cuisine and the spices and the spirituality and all these other things. And then what do? They come, they take over the land, they batter the people, and then they start talking about, how they're so spiritual. Think about it. When was the last time you went to a yoga, anything that was headed by a person who created yoga? It's like yoga has been gentrified and just taken, appropriated, and spit out through a white lens. So that you see the girls with their yoga pants hitched up into their cracks, bent over on the ground, doing all their yoga moves and stuff. And it's like, I don't get it. And then it's like, then they get amnesia about their pure barbarism and their sadism. They get amnesia about the turmoil. Like now over the news, you don't hear anything about the United States really speaking truth about what they have done across the world, right? Puerto Rico, Hawaii. You don't hear anything about the truth. And it's like this is why these people don't want critical race theory. This is why these people don't want the truth told, because they want to spin this lie like they're like, oh, Russia is so boring. Oh, Russia is, oh, how dare he? How dare the United States? Even so much so that there was a queen that I can't pronounce her name. She was a queen in Hawaii. She petitioned every president up until Clinton to please let Hawaii go. Clinton apologized for what the United States did in Hawaii. Even, I think it was Grover Cleveland. She petitioned to Grover Cleveland. Grover Cleveland sent it to the Senate and was like, oh, we should apologize for what we did in Hawaii. And then presidencies or the Senate changed. And then they just forgot about, about making Hawaii whole and making it right. Right. And then, and then they went and they jailed her. They jailed her. The only person that faced jail time because of the the genocidal acts that happened in Hawaii was the Queen. And then when the Queen got out of jail, she petitioned again, and then President Clinton apologized for what the United States did in Hawaii. But they didn't set Hawaii free. They didn't set Hawaii free. And then the woman died. The Queen died without ever having her land released. It's unbelievable. And so and so someone is saying, would you consider hosting a retreat for men who are willing to listen and receive guidance of the feminine? I can recommend you to a person who does retreats for men. I can recommend you. His name is Preston Smiles, Preston, and then Smiles, like smiles, right? So look him up. He does retreats for men. It's called Man Cave, and you can probably find some of what you're looking for there, right? So I'll say that you can probably find some of what you're looking for there. However, this is a time for women to come together, for womb holders to come together and find our healing. You know, um, Maybe I might have a retreat in the future that that's mixed. I don't know. I don't know. But then also, see, the thing about it is, this is the thing. I've done many open seminars and classes and all this other stuff. What ends up happening is 99% of the people who come are women. 99% of the people who come are women. 1% are male, right? And what ends up happening is the male energy throws off the energy that we could be entering into for two different reasons. One, women don't want to release and talk freely about some of the things that they go through and have been going through in the presence of a man. And I find that men who are in the presence of women don't really want to truly open up. And then if they do, then the women start gathering around to then, because women are empathetic and the masculine and the feminine are drawn to one another. So when you see a man being vulnerable, then the women gather around and then they start congratulating him and giving him kudos and all this other stuff. And it's not about that. It's not about that at all. It's not about that. This is about women coming together and being honest about our journeys and healing ourselves, and also being in a safe space where we don't have to put on any airs, where we don't have to put on any pretense, where we don't have to cater to, the wounded masculine, where we don't have to do any of that, where we get to do our own work for us and really dive deep into yourself. You know what I mean? So, okay. I'm taking the comments off the screen because people are abusing it. Don't post links. Please don't post links on my platform. Don't post links. I don't want to have to come back after the broadcast and block you. Commenting on my screen is a privilege. So I've taken them off because people just don't know how to behave. So nonetheless, Okay. All right. So I'm just going to open up this so I can see the comments on here. So we'll go from there. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. A few mess it up for the plenty, and it's unfortunate that it's like that. Like people just want to take advantage. It's unbelievable. So nonetheless, last few questions. All right. So Kelly enjoys the hypnotherapy. I'm glad. And you know what? I'm working on finding more ways to be able to serve more people. So there have been some modalities that I've done here, which have been tremendous in terms of my own journey, that I would like for you all to participate in during the retreat. Island Girl says, are you going to be sharing some of your recipes? I'm creating a cookbook. So I will be sharing my recipes in a cookbook. I will be doing it that way. So yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. There's a lizard on the fence, and this lizard's jaw is able to come way down. It's so crazy. Nonetheless, all right. So, any any other questions before we jump out of here? We have 5 more minutes. Actually, yeah, 5 more minutes. I have not seen any natives here. I've not seen any natives. It's most of the people here are white from the mainland who come to take of Hawaii. So that's what I've seen. So it's not a chameleon. It's not a chameleon. Chameleons are weird looking. There's some geckos here. Um, what inspired me to go to the Hawaii retreat? I just really, I wanted to change. I wanted to change my life. During the pandemic, I aged a lot from being sedentary, from not moving around. I aged a lot. Not only that, I realized that health is not owed to us. It's something that you have to work towards and get for yourself. And even if you eat a vegetarian diet, it doesn't mean that you're healthy. So, like when I first came to this retreat, like my blood pressure, just from being sedentary over the past 2 years, my blood pressure was borderline hypertensive. So my blood pressure was borderline hypertensive. Not only that, my glucose and insulin levels, I was um, borderline insulin resistant. And so it's like, I know that there are people out there who have a different lifestyle than I do, who have all types of health issues and maladies that are going on inside. I know, because I know what it felt like. I know what it felt like to be weak physically, to just not be able to lift, to not be able to, like, and struggle in your own body. I know what that's like. And so I want to be able to help people, because I feel like, especially, so it's like when you help uplift black women, you help uplift the entire world. And so I definitely want to create an avenue to be able to help black women, because it's like people love to mock us and make fun of us and be like, oh, black women, you're overweight, you're obese. And but why are black women obese? Why are our numbers disproportionate in this country? And it's like, you can't say that black women are obese, because it's not a thing that exists in blackness. because you go to other countries where there's black people, you go to other nations, but what is it about the United States? And when you start looking at our numbers and the attack and the assault that we're under from even, oh look, the sun is coming to kiss me, even starting in our own homes, where they say 40% of African American girls in the United States are intimately assaulted under the age of 18. And so it's like when you're dealing with all of these traumas inside of your body, because it's like being a Nubian womb holder is a beautiful experience. However, there's a lot of things that come with that experience. And I want to be able to assist Black women. I want to be able to assist Black women in releasing a lot of the things that that are keeping us stuck, that keep us addicted to these foods that don't serve us, that keep us in these unhealthy situations. I want to work on, I want to assist us in that. So that's why I want to get as educated as possible about as many things as I can, so that when we do this retreat, that we come there and we roll up our sleeves and we really dive into the experiences that we've had that has led to the weight gain and the overweightedness and the fact that we are in denial about this. You know, it's like we have so many of these men coming out who love to want to mock us, and who are in their verbal assault inflicting more traumas onto us, right? And I want us to be able to come together and get to the root of what is. So Funkalicious is saying there's no benefit for Black women caping, birthing Black males, conquer bucks. You see, and I'm glad you said that, because then I can address that in this video. You're being misguided. You're being misguided. Look, if you don't want to have Black children, do not have intercourse with Black men. You're being misguided by women who have already had their children, some of them who have Black male children. And now they're telling you, don't give birth to Black males, right? The larger conversation needs to be, who are you vetting who you're having intercourse with? Because it seems like we just go from one extreme to the other, right? Where we are in these dysfunctional relationships with Black men, and then we go over and find some dysfunctional relationships with men from other communities. I did a video where we were talking about these women who were with, these Black women who were with Proud Boys, and they were standing up there with the glazed over look in their eyes with their men who have problematic views of Black people, Black women, Black men. They have problematic views, and yet they're up there with these men, and they're like, oh, well, as long as he's not Black. But that's not, if you are choosing a mate solely based on race instead of the character of that man, the conversation doesn't need to be, because, oh, God, it's like, the women who think that way, right? Just like we were talking about with the iPhone. It's like this group think, and you have to be able to project, where's this group think going to get you? First of all, when you start saying things like there's something wrong with Black men based on their Blackness, you don't understand the idiocy of how you're talking about yourself. You get one of your X chromosomes from your father, you get the other X chromosome from your mother. Women have two X, men have X and Y. And while you're standing up here talking about how all black men are defunct and all black men are this and all this, that, and the other. Is it their maleness that makes them defunct? And that means that men all over the world have these issues who have XY chromosomes. Or is it their blackness, which then comes right back around to you? And you don't understand how you speak some of the same racist tropes as the racists out there who have these problematic opinions. So that the question isn't whether or not you take the time to really invest in your children. First of all, we have too many mother effing black people out there who refuse to stop whipping and beating their children, stop torturing, and stop enacting violence against their children. We have too many who refuse to find another way. We have too many black people who are eating their ham hocks and their chitlins and their fat back and their baby got back ribs and all this other stuff, and they refuse to find another way. If you refuse to find another way, by all means, don't have any children because you're not equipped. If you feel that you are not equipped to raise a black male with with the assistance of whomever you're going to raise this black male with, in whichever neighborhood you're going to raise this black male, if you don't feel that you're equipped, don't fucking do it. But what you don't do is you don't go to other women who have different realities and different existences than you and start lambasting them for the choices of their womb. If your womb has issues with whatever's going on in your family and in your life, don't do it. But you see, what we have is we have too many black women. Let me say this closer to the mic so you can hear me. What we have is we have too many black women who like to monkey on a black dick. They want to spin around and pop up and down on it because they're attracted to black men. You like that big black dick. You like the broad black bodies of black men. But then you're going to talk about how you don't want to have a black male child. Dear, stop monkeying on black dick. Just don't do it. If the see, because the issue is you're not saying, oh, there's a problem with black men who are any percent black. What you're doing is you're trying to make it seem as if then biracial half black, half white men, they're okay, right? What you're doing is you are inadvertently, through groupthink and not paying attention to the signs on the wall, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up to be second class, because then what you're saying is that the biracial black, half white males are superior to the black. And if that's the case, that means that there's a problem with blackness. And you need the white man's DNA to come in to uplift and civilize your genes. Listen to what the fuck. It's like, listen to what the fuck you are saying. It's like, you don't get it. It's like, you don't get it. God. Oh, my Lord. The plainest Jane is in here talking. Listen, listen. So, all right. Exactly. Because I'm saying all of this because I had my engineer in a video with me. And there were black women who had the nerve to come and tell me that they don't find black male babies cute, that they're a problem, that when they see a black male baby, that and I never did a video on this because I didn't want to enter into the energy of that. But you know what? Doing this fast has really released a lot of the other stuff that used to, like, I used to have so many layers of, oh, what I would talk about, what I wouldn't talk about, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to be in a certain energy of any of this. But these women came out and they were like, they don't think black male babies are cute. When they see black male babies, they see a problem. And I'm like, dear, you've become fucking crazy because you've let some, you hear that? Do you hear that? The things are falling down around me. The power of the divine, the power of the ancestors is coming forward. You have let some motherfuckers from the internet, some people whose lives you don't know behind the scene, some of whom are hiding babies from the public that you don't fucking know about, but you think that they're living a life that's different than the one that they're actually living. And you let these motherfuckers convince you to go abort a blessing from your womb. You got motherfuckers out here turning you into a crazy person so that you are now looking at babies. Any human being who looks at a baby and gets the feeling of animus and vitriol on the inside has a fucking problem. That person is not too well in the head. And you sitting over here on the internet letting people govern whether or not you're going to go out there being a good person. When you start looking at babies and having animosity, you have crossed over. And I'm telling you, don't approach me in the streets with that shit because you don't fucking know me. You know who you see on these cameras, but I will take a bite out your jugular. Do not come close to me with that type of energy, with hatred in your heart for babies. Don't do it. Don't do it. That'll be the last time you approach someone like that. It'll be the last time. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Listen, and you know what? The thing is, you're going to sit up here aborting blessings from your womb, and then you're going to be up there 45, 47, 50 years old on the precipice of menopause with a tattered up damn womb because you let some women from the internet whose private lives you do not know have you go and scrape a fetus out your womb. Listen. Anyway, I need to release that off of me. All right. So it's like, why not just not get pregnant at all? Why not just do that? Why go and monkey on black dick only to go out there talking about you're going to start having these abortions if the child is male? Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. By the time you see me again, I will be in Florida and I will let you know how that went. My 10 days here, it was all right. There were some things that took place that I'll tell you all more about it once I'm gone. I will see you all in the next video. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, what? Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is, I would say, from all that we talked about today, part of loving yourself is finding out who you are. You know what I'm saying? So many of us are like patchwork quilts of different people's impositions onto our personalities. Lisa saying, doesn't seem like I like it here. I don't like it here. I was very open about that. Rewind. So, yeah, get to know who it is that you truly are without the, irrespective or circumventing the lessons that you received about who you should be, who it is that you've contorted yourself into being, and who it is that you think that you are. Listen, you have got to love yourself through You've got to love yourself and figure out who you are at the very base of all of it, with everything stripped away, with your children stripped away, with your gender stripped away, with your beauty or your lack or your imagined lack thereof stripped away. All of those things. You've got to take away all of this stuff. This is why I can't wait until we get out into our seminar and we take off our makeup and you know what? I should have us remove our makeup and I should have us wear a frock, like a dowdy frock, so that you don't have your waistline cinched and you're not able to rely on your pretty lipsticks or your eyebrows or eyelashes, none of that. So that you come bare without your mask on and you really dive deep into yourself and figure out who are you. at the bottom of all of this. Who are you? All right. So I will see you all in the next video. Tanya TKO. And I got some apples that came in that I didn't even realize I had come in. Sorry, because my thing is off here. Let me Lois sends $20 and she says for the amnesia quote. Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't even realize. I'm sorry. I just saw it just now. Give me one second. I'm gonna look at the other apples. And TD sends $10 and says for dance knockout. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So on that note, I'll see you all in the next video. I appreciate all of you coming out. And that's it. Next time I see you, I'll be on day. Oh, I don't know what day I'll be on when I see you all again, but today is day 10, and we're only going forward from here. And I'll see you all.